Hello everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And you know what today is? 2-for-1 Tuesday. We're doing another episode. Why? I don't know. I still don't have my desk. I'm in a small little space. I just need to get out another video. I just have to. And the reason that is because Blake Martinez. I have been thinking about Blake the last day or so, like I was thinking about Andrew Thomas. Blake is in a precarious situation. He is coming in, and in some ways, he is probably one of the better, if not best, linebackers that we have brought in a long time. He's the saddest thing to say is he's probably the best linebacking prospect, or the most polished linebacker that we've brought in since like John Beeson. And John Beeson played well for like 7 games. We signed him for a contract. He got hurt and that was over. So he really falls into that. He's either going to have to be really awesome. There's no way he could be mediocre, and he's got to lead this team. I'm an old timer, and I've always said I was an old timer, and I'm never going to deny being an old timer. So I remember the Giants linebackings from the days of yore. I'm going back into the John Facenda voice. The body is certain magic lingers in the names, but icy duels in the heart and snow. But you know what? If you go back to the 86 team, the 86 team was loaded in linebackers. You had Carson's, Bank. I always love it because I still think, Pat Summerall, Carson's, Bank, Taylor, and Reasons. Those guys were when we were at our pinnacle. And they were all huge men, even in the 80s. Reasons, 6'4". Harry Carson was 6'2". Lawrence Taylor was 6'3". Carl Banks was 6'4". Even the guys that backed them up were monsters, even in the standards. They would still be monsters in the standard today. You had Andy the Headhunter Hennon at 6'5". You had Byron Jones at 6'5". You had Pepper Johnson's at 6'3". You had Robbie Jones at 6'2". They were a wall. And we got away from the linebackers. Not completely. We've had some good linebacking units, but we haven't had any that we've had since the 80s and the 90s. You have the guys that sporadically come in, like Antonio Pierce, Mike Barrows, and I'm not naming, Jesse Armstead. I'm not going to name all the guys, but we haven't had that guy and that guy since Antonio Pierce. So Blake Martinez is got to understand that he needs to fill the void of Giants yore by being the linebacker that we have not had. Can he do it? Listen, I am a Blake Martinez fan. And I know a lot of people say, well, you're always picking on him and this and that. I'm not picking on him. I'm just pointing out the truth. He has certain deficiencies, and it's kind of weird because he's had deficiencies. They seem to come and go depending on the year. Now, if we go back to like his rookie season in 16, he played in 13 games, started 9, 69 tackles, 47 solo. They probably thought, good, solid linebacker, don't know what's going to happen. And then he kind of burst on the scene in 17s, 144 tackles, 96 of them solo. That is crazy to me. He stopped the ball carrier by himself 96 times. He had 10 tackles for losses, 2 quarterback hits. So you know what? And then, like I said, then he progressed again in 18. Another 144 tackles and 91. He kind of had an off-kilter year a little bit in 18, but to his standards. But he still had the same amount of tackles. He actually had more sacks in 18. So I wouldn't really say, I'm going to take that back. I'm sorry, I'm getting the years confused. He had a better year in 18 than he did in 17. It was in 19 where people say his play dropped a little bit more. I don't think it really did. He had 155 tackles, 97 solo again. It was just people. Blake is the kind of guy he doesn't have the speed that some inside linebackers have. He only ran like a 4.7. But he doesn't need to have that speed in some regards because of the fact that he is a very smart and heady player. You don't make 97 solo tackles unless you're putting yourself in the right place. Now, his liability at times is going to be in pass coverage. He had 1 year where he was ranked, and we've gone through this. We're not going to go through the whole spiel again, but we've gone through this where he had 1 year where he ranked like 38th out of linebackers in reference to pass coverage. And then the next year under Patrick, he ranked 8th. And then the next year, which was last year, he ranked like 27th. So it's more of a jump up and down. And again, I've said it before. I think it's the fact that Patrick, as the linebacker coach, understood Blake, understood basically how he knows and how he reads the defense, and put him in positions to make tackles and to make plays offensively. Defensively against the offense in the pass, first the pass. And honestly, like I said, we need Blake to be a 3-down linebacker. We really do. We need him to stay on the field and be that field general. Now, the one thing I love about Blake, he is a big-time player when it comes to big games. He is a big-time player. His 16 statistics in the playoffs were not fantastic, but if you take a look at his 19 statistics in the playoffs, 19 tackles, 13 solo. I mean, he's always around. The dude is always around the ball, and that's what you need to have. If you break down his snap count, and I don't think a lot of people have done this, in 16, he only played in 43% of the offensive plays. In 17, he played in 93% of the offensive plays. In 18 and 19, he played in 99% of the defensive plays. I don't know why I keep saying offense, but in the defensive plays, he played 99% of the time he was on the field. That is a 3-down linebacker. And I love it because some people would be like, well, he's not on the field a lot. He can't play the pass and this and that. It's like, no, he's played 99% of the defensive snaps. That is phenomenal. That is a guy that plays hurt, plays hard, plays tough, and doesn't leave the field. Now, I do think that sometimes he will get exposed in the passing routes, but I think for what we need him to do, which literally will be to clog up that middle, I think he's perfect for that role. Now, the only problem I have with Blake, and it's not a problem with Blake at all, it's who we are surrounding him with. If we go with the 4-3, or excuse me, the 3-4, I personally think we should go to the 4-3. But if we go to the 3-4, you're talking about potentially having Golden as one of the linebackers, but he's going to probably play more of a down position during rushing, during obvious passing situations. You got Lorenzo Carter is coming off off season. You got David Mayo, who is phenomenal against the run, but is a liability in the pass coverage. And you have to hope that Ryan Conley comes back from the ACL injury and comes back effectively. And then we basically have a bunch of rookies behind them. I mean, it's not the best situation. I will say this right now. Blake Martinez will be the best defensive player on the field for the New York Giants. And I'm saying that against, everyone. James Bradbury, I'm saying it against Xavier McKinney, Peppers, Leonard Williams, but he will be the best defensive player on the field. Why? Because he never comes off the field. I think for once, we are going to sit in the stands. Well, actually, we're not going to sit in the stands. We are going to sit at home and marvel at a giant linebacker again. We are going to sit there and say that's how you attack the ball carrier. I'm not saying that he is going to be a Harry Carson. I am not saying he is going to be, Carl Banks, even though Carl Banks play on the outside. But I could see him being more Gary Reasons and more Pepper Johnson. That's what I can see. And, being a Pepper Johnson and Gary Reasons combined is not a bad thing to have on your team. And I am excited that he is going to be on this team. I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm excited for him to put the hustle behind the muscle. and let's get the giant linebacker. And he's smart enough to help other players. He's smart enough to help the young guys understand where they need to be positionally. He is going to be a fantastic field general. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Hope you enjoy 2 for Tuesday. I don't think we're going to do this very much because my throat and voice is killing me today. But if you want, you can just follow us on Twitter at OnlineBigBlue1. And of course, drop us an email at onlineBigBlue@gmail.com. And once again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you can like, if you can subscribe, if you can ring that bell, I think you know what that means. That'd be awesome.